In sports, not all trades are created equal. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for another top 10 infamous trades in North American sports.
His coolness under fire, what he'd accomplished with less as a collegiate quarterback, were the ingredients that were necessary for the Giants to go forth and win.
For this list, we will once again be looking at North American sports trades that, in the moment, or over a period of time, came to be considered infamous for one reason or another.
San Francisco still will have the Golden Gate Bridge, cable cars, Fisherman's Wharf, North Beach, and the best marriage of city, sea, and sky in America. But it will no longer have Joe Montana.
Number 10, Wilt Chamberlain from the Philadelphia 76ers to the Los Angeles Lakers.
Wilt has always said that he had been promised a piece of ownership of the team, and if he was not going to get it, he wanted to be traded.
Famed NBA big man Wilt Chamberlain racked up an impressive number of records and awards while playing for the 76ers, not to mention an NBA title. So it came as quite a surprise when he was dealt to the Lakers in the summer of '68 for three relative nobodies.
He said, I want to be traded, and I want to be traded to a West Coast team. And we got Darrell Imhoff and Archie Clark and Jerry Chambers for Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt went to the Lakers.
It didn't take long for Chamberlain to adapt to his new team, leading them to 5 finals appearances in 6 years. The Sixers, on the other hand, didn't capture another NBA championship until 1983.
Moses Malone did what Philadelphia wanted him to do. The champions of the NBA 1982-83.
Number 9. Frank Robinson from the Cincinnati Reds to the Baltimore Orioles.
Fly ball, well hit, deep left field. It is going to be the 500th home run of a brilliant Major League career.
Though unrelated to MLB color barrier breaker Jackie, Frank Robinson was a baseball legend himself, becoming the first African-American MLB manager.
Everywhere I went, it was, how's it feel to be the first black manager? I just wanted to be looked upon and thought of as a Major League manager.
His playing career was also successful, though he spent his best years with 2 teams, an unusual feat in the days before free agency. Starting out with Cincinnati in 1956, Robinson was named Rookie of the Year. However, despite his success and the fact that he took his team to the 1961 World Series, Robinson was shipped to Baltimore ahead of the 1966 season in exchange for Milt Pappas, Jack Balchin, and Dick Simpson.
He was very hurt by the trade. It was a shock to him.
Guess what happened next? The Orioles won it all that year. And guess who was named Series MVP? That's right, Frank Robinson.
Frank Robinson, to me, is one of those icons that you look to. He's almost like security for young black managers.
Number 8, Nolan Ryan from the New York Mets to the California Angels.
Struck him out with the curveball, and the New York Mets win the ball game.
Nolan Ryan may have won his only World Series with the Mets, but it was his time in California that showed the baseball world how talented he truly was. Traded in 1971 along with 3 other players to the Angels in exchange for shortstop Jim Fregosi, Ryan would become an 8-time All-Star and record holder for the most strikeouts in MLB history. Fregosi, having struggled with injuries, only played a year and a half with the Mets before moving on to the Texas Rangers. Unsurprisingly, the deal has since been considered one of the most lopsided in baseball history.
When I got traded to the California Angels, I really wasn't that excited about going to the Angels because it meant changing leagues and also a whole new set of teammates. But shortly after I got there, I realized that it was one of the best things that ever happened to me.
Number 7, Derrick Rose from the Chicago Bulls to the New York Knicks.
Well, it is my pleasure to award to you the Kia NBA 2010-11 MVP trophy.
The winner of the NBA's Most Valuable Player Award in 2011, Derrick Rose's career has been marred by injuries ever since.
Just talked about the 26 games he has missed.
The first overall pick by his hometown Bulls in 2008, this point guard was seen as the saving grace for a team that struggled mightily ever since the demise of their 90s dynasties.
Rose trying to get open, fires away. Bang! It's over! The Bulls win at the buzzer!
However, years of injuries and playoff disappointment led Rose and forward Justin Holiday to be traded to the Knicks for Jose Calderon, Jaren Grant, and Robin Lopez in June 2016.
It hurt a little bit, but at the end of the day, my life is out of my hands.
The big question behind this trade was whether or not Rose could overcome his injuries and return to his winning ways. If so, the Knicks will easily have stolen this trade from the Bulls.
I think I'll fit in any system. I know how to get out the way. I'm a point guard, so my job is to make other guys better on the floor.
Number 6, Eli Manning from the San Diego Chargers to the New York Giants.
With the first choice in the 2004 NFL Draft, the San Diego Chargers select Eli Manning, quarterback, Mississippi.
In the 2004 NFL Draft, the San Diego Chargers were poised to select Eli Manning with the first overall pick.
Why don't you want to play for the Chargers?
We're not really giving details right now. We've made our decision, and that's what we're sticking to.
However, Manning had publicly stated before the draft that he would not play for the California-based team if they picked him.
That whole wanting to go to New York got a little misunderstood. It was never wanting to go to New York. There was just I didn't want to go to one place.
A deal was then cooked up where the Chargers would take Manning regardless, and then ship him to the Giants for their 4th overall pick, quarterback Phillip Rivers.
Eli Manning and Phillip Rivers. And also the Giants are assigning to the Chargers their 3rd round pick in this draft.
While the Giants clearly won the trade, winning 2 Super Bowls with Manning, Rivers is nothing to scoff at either.
Touchdown San Diego! Hunter Henry!
The true controversy in this deal was the flat-out refusal of a big-name prospect to play for a particular team. Number 5, Pedro Martinez from the Los Angeles Dodgers to the Montreal Expos.
That's strike 3, and that's number 300. 300 career, I should say, season strikeouts for Pedro Martinez.
Sometimes you don't know what you have until it's gone. Considered by Dodgers manager Tommy Lasorda to be too small a pitcher to effectively start in the majors, and in desperate need of a second baseman, Martinez was dealt to the Expos for Delino DeShields before the 1994 season.
Martinez strikes out Santiago.
Toronto batters this evening.
That's 4 strikeouts, 10 in a row, retired.
While DeShields was a solid ball player himself, Martinez was headed for superstardom. In his first season with Montreal, he helped lead the team to a league-best 74-40 record before a player's strike abruptly ended the season.
That is only appropriate. The ball game ends on a strikeout. The 10th strikeout tonight. Pat Hinken pitched a strong game. Not good enough to beat Pedro Martinez and the Montreal Expos.
In 1997, after compiling a record of 17-8, Martinez became the first Expo to win the Cy Young Award as the National League's best pitcher, proving size doesn't always matter.
Swing and a miss by Girardi. Strikeout number 5 for Martinez.
Number 4, Joe Montana from the San Francisco 49ers to the Kansas City Chiefs.
It was huge. The arrival of a rock star. It was unlike anything I'd ever seen.
After missing the entire 1991 season and much of the 92 season, legendary quarterback Joe Montana was itching to get back on the field.
Joe, this was as good a hit as Montana has taken all year.
However, the 49ers had found a strong replacement for the veteran QB in Steve Young. While Montana was a hero in San Fran, leading the team to 4 Super Bowl titles, Young had earned the respect of fans and teammates in his absence.
Just as there will always be fleas on dogs, there will be a quarterback controversy somewhere in the NFL. And now there is one building here in San Francisco.
A rift quickly opened up in the locker room, causing Joe Cool to request a trade. He was dealt to the Kansas City Chiefs in the spring of 1993.
We are very, very pleased to officially announced that Joe Montana, his lovely wife Jennifer, and all of their family are officially Kansas City Chiefs.
Young led the 49ers to a Super Bowl soon after, while the closest thing Montana would get was the AFC Championship game in '93.
Montana throws for the end zone. Touchdown for the Chiefs.
Number 3, Julius Erving from the New York Nets to the Philadelphia 76ers.
From the University of Massachusetts, number 6, Julius Erving.
When the New York Nets of the ABA merged with the NBA at the start of the 1976-77 season, they brought with them one of the most dominant small forwards to ever hit the court.
Dr. J. ostentatiously looking to wake the Nets up.
In 5 ABA seasons, Irving won 2 championships, 3 MVP awards, and 3 scoring titles.
And now the doctor goes to work. Unbelievable.
After the team went back on their promise to raise his salary, things between Irving and the Nets soured. This prompted the team to sell him to the 76ers for $3 million. But not before the Knicks passed on picking up Irving's contract. Dr. J flourished with his new squad, leading them to an NBA championship in 1983, while the Nets remain without a title to this day.
Thanks a lot. Great job.
Number 2, Scottie Pippen from the Seattle Supersonics to the Chicago Bulls.
The Seattle Supersonics select Scott Pippen of Central Arkansas.
Drafted 5th overall by the Supersonics in the 1987 NBA draft, Pippen was quickly traded to the Chicago Bulls for Olden Polynice and future draft picks.
It's a great trade for Pippen. He's going to have an opportunity to move into the starting lineup, whereas he probably would have had to come off the bench for Seattle.
While Polynice carved out a respectable 15-year career in the league, it was Pippen who became a legend.
Pippen all the way, yes, and it counts.
Together with Michael Jordan, Pippen and the Bulls went on to win 6 NBA championships, with Pippen winning numerous awards along the way. With Pippen ultimately proving himself to be a tremendous defender, we have to imagine that if the Supersonics had it all to do over again, they wouldn't have been so quick to let Scottie go.
If I had played for Chicago, who knows what would have happened? We would have won more titles.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Kareem was one of the most beautiful players I've ever watched in my life. He had grace, he had style. He had the greatest shot that the game has ever seen.
It's 4. It goes 4. Touchdown. I said he was close to 70. He's on 70. Holy Toledo, what a year for Bagwell. All-star credentials through and through.
Number 1, Patrick Roy from the Montreal Canadiens to the Colorado Avalanche.
It's not easy, and it's too bad how this whole situation came out.
Having established himself as one of the NHL's premier goalies, Patrick Roy was less than thrilled when ex-teammate Mario Tremblay became his head coach early in the 1995-96 season.
Primo for Johnson scores! Craig Johnson makes it 8-1.
Tensions boiled over during a game in which Tremblay refused to pull Roy from the net, even after he allowed 5 goals in a single period.
I prefer to wait after the second period in the dressing room to tell him, Patrick, I'm going to put Jablonski in the net. That's my thinking was then, okay? But, like I said before, all of a sudden, bang, bang, 8-9 goals.
When Roy was finally pulled, he immediately demanded to be traded. The result was one of the most lopsided deals in NHL history. The Habs shipped Roy and captain Mike Keane to Colorado for Jocelyn Thibault, Martin Ruchinski, and Andrei Kovalenko.
I really appreciate what the Montreal Canadiens done for me, gave me the chance to go, and I want to thank Mr. Corey for all the support over the years.
The Avalanche went on to win 2 cups with Roy in net. The Habs, on the other hand, are still waiting and are still trading away their franchise players. PK Subban.
Subban on the breakaway. He scores!
Do you agree with our list? What's your favorite infamous sports trade? For more entertaining top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Not the one who asked for the divorce.
The announcement by the Canadiens that they were going to trade Roy rocked the entire hockey world.